Hello. What is this? What is this? This is welcome to a new episode of Brilliant Blues. I'm not even sure which one this is. So I'll figure
Incredible
it out.
pivot.
Incredible pivot. I was like,
Yeah.
I could just say a number. Give me a second. Oh,
Nah,
hey,
that
double digits. Welcome to episode 10
let's
of
go.
Brilliant Blues. I am one of the Brilliant Blues, Crunk Chocolate, and I'm here with my other two big brained, amazing individuals, Dylan, John. What's up, my boys?
What is good? You played that introduction like a seasoned midfielder, just switching direction on there. I love that. I love that. How was
Move quick,
everyone's weekend?
move quickly, move quickly.
Good man, UConn. What a 48
Yes.
hours.
Yes.
Last time, for those that don't know, I'm from Connecticut. So for me, it was big. This is our professional sport. Duke has not beaten UConn in the NCAA tournament since George Bush Sr. was in office. It's a great day to be a UConn Husky.
Uh, just off the rip, which Premier League manager is Dan Hurley, or which manager? Because the forehead to forehead with the referee.
It's
Oh, that was so
that,
great.
that,
The game
that's
winner
Pep
was
with the
wild.
fourth official. That's Pep with the fourth official.
Oh my god!
I'm trying to think. I mean, there is actually decent parallels between Pep and Hurley in a sense of like, he was a high school coach. Pep started at Barca B, but like Hurley did have to kind of climb a little bit like more versus Pep, who just like basically in the second season won a treble. It might be like Sarri, because like Maurizio Sarri, I think it's Maurizio, whatever, the guy that managed Chelsea and Napoli and Chile. I mean, he came, I think, from like I think he coached like universities and then like moved his way on up. But I don't think Hurley smokes cigarettes, so I don't know if that's the best comparison.
It's
We
definitely
need
like
the same exact human being.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's an amalgamation of many, but most being Italian managers in my mind because when I saw the forehead to forehead, I thought of Gattuso and that was it. And I was like, this man like is ready to scrap.
Dude, he could have gotten
for
teed
no
up.
reason. Oh, so
I know,
Like-
and that's what
like-
I was like, wait, did he not get teed up for that?
or suspended. Like what? He's touching him the forehead, forehead to forehead.
But he said, and I don't know, he said he thought the ref was going for a chest bump. That's what he said today, which is insanity. I didn't see the video. I just saw the quote, so I don't know if he was kidding. But
Listen, failed out of the LSAT basically, if that's possible, but I'll claim that. Son of an attorney, though, I'll be the first one to say that's bullshit. That's bullshit. No way.
But I like that he saw a ref and was like, the ref is about to chest bump me. Like,
Yeah.
let me be the aggressor. Let me go in first.
Yeah. And insane. Congrats to the Huskies, though. Crunk, what about you? What'd you get into?
It was actually really chill. I like that it was the international break for the men. All we really had to do was focus on City Women's beatdown of the Manchester United and the derby at Old Trafford. Real good win. Things were light. Prepared for the recording with Ryan Hunn of Stadio, so that was really cool. And trying to just figure out the rest of the season. We're gonna do a meetup in Kansas City, going to Kansas City Citizens in early May. So just kind of prepping and setting up for that and what I want to do there. And trying to work on some merch ideas. Yeah, just honestly the usual. Most of it is like me. I've been drinking a lot. It's another thing that can sponsor us. Happy Dad Seltzers. I like love these things. First
Hell
off,
yeah.
they're 12 ounce, so that's good. And the 5%, so like a slightly bit more alcoholic. But the flavors are like legit good. They taste like real flavors, where other ones
Oh
feel like,
no.
do you
Yeah.
not like that?
Just Googled one of their owners.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's what I was
no.
gonna say. Yeah,
Who's
I
the
was gonna
owners?
say, like, in speaking of March Madness, low-key kind of an upset of the century that you're into the old Happy Dad. I'm pretty sure it's the Nelk Boys, right?
I don't know about I don't even know if I should say, but Junior. That's all I'll say. I'll just say Junior.
Oh.
Oh,
Damn.
Um,
oh,
Well, I'll tell you what.
oh.
You just ruined Happy Dad.
Sorry for doing that on the pod. That was a visceral reaction. I wasn't trying to do this on the pod.
No, that's fine. No, I need to know.
I just Googled
because
Happy Dad, and that was literally, it was like purchase, and that was like the second thing.
It's
And
I
I'm
don't-
sorry, that was.
Damn.
Yeah, it's the liquid version of Cowshy. It's okay. This happens.
Damn. Okay, never mind with the sponsorship.
Yeah.
Whoa.
3 Man City fans talking about the moral ambiguity of supporting a beer and having absolutely no thoughts on the owners of their football club. Anyways,
For sure.
Very on
Yeah.
brand. Very on brand. Very on brand.
Love
Oh
this.
man, why can't I can't just have something that gets me drunk and happy
Sorry, man.
and just let it be that? Like, no,
I
it's
will
not you. No, I appreciate you guys saying this, because I would have continued to not look into it and be like, people, this thing is great. So like, I'm happy you guys helped me out with that. I will just drink it in silence.
I'm ready to be proven wrong. I'm pretty sure the seltzer game's a slippery slope on all fronts.
It's a bubble.
I don't think any seltzer owners are the best people. Like I'm just throwing that because I'm pretty sure Portnoy owns one of them. I'm pretty sure.
High Noon.
Yeah, like it's just
Oh wow,
it's tough.
That's so.
It's basically
It's-
Kirkland brand. All you got is Kirkland
Yeah.
brand. Just give me Costco. That's what.
1,000%.
Wait, Kirkland brand does seltzers? Okay, I'll try that out though. I'll try that out. That's
I'm
hilarious.
just saying, like my friends and I did this exercise about a year ago, and like not to keep the political train going here, but like it's so fun to categorize activities red or blue, and it's some privilege living in New York to be able to do this, but like it's so true. Most of the really really fun shit skews a certain way, which I don't agree with, but like which liquid you can drink when it's really really hot out and you're at a lake, you're pretty effed on all fronts. Like there's no good option for you there, which sometimes you just kind of have to, I don't know, give in, I guess.
Take the L.
Yeah.
To the L.
Yeah. There you go. Absolutely.
Oh man, let's talk about this Carabao Cup win against Arsenal. Always gonna back the blue. Always gonna expect City to win, but against Arsenal, who's been playing pretty good football, with a City who's pretty inconsistent, crashing out of the Champions League, just never really knew what to expect or how it was gonna go. And then, especially because the way it started, Arsenal had good control of the first 12, 15 minutes, and then it kind of just flipped on its head. City just ran away with the end of the first half, controlled it at the beginning of the second half, and by the time Arsenal tried to get anything going, the game was done and over with. I guess we don't have to obviously talk about the minutia of the match, but a week plus since that has happened, is there anything from that match that is still sticking with you, or a storyline that you're looking forward to seeing how it plays over the next month and a half? Yeah, what are your thoughts about from the Carabao?
I can go first. I am fascinated to see how Arsenal respond. I think that the international break I think it's not the most ideal situation. I think if they had to jump immediately into matches again, I think it would have a lot more staying power. I think this break is quite helpful. However, it seems like Madueke might actually be injured, and there's stuff with Hincapié as well, who potentially is injured. So they've picked up a few injuries on the break, and so look, Southampton. I'm not expecting anything out of that,
No.
but that seed is now planted because it's less about the result and more about the performance, and the fact that City just absolutely controlled the entire second half of that game, I think does send a message. However, it doesn't matter. City can win the rest of their games and they still wouldn't win the league. Like, it's out of City's hands, and it would require Arsenal to at least lose one more game or draw two more games. And they have a significant goal difference advantage as well that City would somehow have to find a way to make up. So I'm optimistic. I think it plants a big seed, but City still need to then go and win at the Etihad and then still hope for Arsenal to drop points once again, if not twice more.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple angles. I think that you're absolutely right. If we didn't have the break, scary hours for Arsenal a little bit right now. The break does help them a ton. I think a couple things that were so interesting to me was how good we looked in the second half, where I was like, oh shit, like this might be the best game I've seen us play. On top of that, no subs, which sick. But then at the same time, I'm kind of sitting there, I'm like, what do we got to do to be deep? Pause. But like, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, we never are just going for long into the damn bench and like feeling good about everybody out there. It was just whatever. I think the one thing that was a little frustrating, or like I'm having trouble accepting, based on our last episode, which I feel like I always try to take it back to what we talked about previously. The 90th minute sub for Foden, damn, like
not great, Bob.
Not great at all, Phil. Not great, Phil.
Man.
And then my last point though is like, if we want to win anything, I have last 2 points. If we want to win anything, like Ryan Cherokee's got to play all the time, like all the time. Please, like first name on the team sheet. And then my last point is like I'm Tom Petty. Like just so long as they didn't have a quadruple, I'm good. Like I feel better. Just in general, I think the league, we're in a great place for the league.
What does that mean?
No. What do you mean?
What does I'm Tom Petty mean?
I'm pretty petty. I was like, I know I just care about
just
that, but
petty.
Like,
You just added Tom in front of it.
Oh, petty. Okay, I get you. All right.
And
I didn't know if this was, I
entendre.
was like, I don't know. You won't back down. Like I'm trying to. I was like, what's the
Both.
yeah, that part too. But like, yeah, no, like, could you just imagine? And in New York City, it's worse. Love the mayor, but him being an Arsenal fan, oh damn. But could you imagine if they won 4 fucking trophies this year,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you just have to sit
Yeah.
there and like take all of that? It's a different circle of hell that we don't know about yet. Truly, we've not experienced this, so is what it is. That's where I'm
And
at.
City had the chance to face them in the FA Cup. If they knock them out of the FA Cup as well, I mean, it's really glorious.
Yeah,
It's really
time.
glorious.
Big time.
You mentioned Dylan, all Arsenal players dropping out of international break. You mentioned Zubimendi. He was the latest. He made 10 Arsenal players who stepped away from international duty. Gabriel complained about a right knee, Saliba left ankle. Timber still hasn't been healthy. He got called up to Netherlands, and they're like, nah, bro, you're still cooked. Eze is probably going to be out for the rest of the season from the way that they're talking about. Declan Rice just withdrew himself because of discomfort. Same thing with Saka. And Madueke was seen wearing a boot when he was leaving. Hincapié is in trouble. Trossard, his wasn't kind of like a fatigue situation, and then Zubimendi said discomfort in his right knee. It'll be very interesting to see it. We know Arteta doesn't give 2 cares if the players are injured. Like Saka has been playing on one knee for like 3 seasons now and still plays every chance Arteta can put him out there. No, it will be interesting. Yeah, when it comes to the Premier League, I'm not really expecting anything. Like you said, City can win out and still not get anything of it because Arsenal need to lose more in the final 4 games of the season than they really have all season. And I just don't see that happening. Obviously, City could help push that through, but that's still them having to either have 2 draws or a loss and a draw. And City, we would still have to expect them to win. It'll be exciting, but if we can get the Carabao and the FA Cup, that's a really good season. I feel for City with all of the changes that have happened. Uh, it's a step in the right direction. I feel.
Yeah, one last point too. Like, imagine just getting the shit kicked out of you by Real Madrid and then coming back and winning that game. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
mentally strong ish. That's how I feel. Yeah.
Okay, one last thing before we move on. The Obviously the Kepa mistake opened up the floodgates, and Arsenal wanted to make him the scapegoat, even though Arsenal didn't score. Like if Arsenal scored, then you could be like, yeah, that one mistake really messed things up for us. But you can't be like he's the reason why he lost because Arsenal didn't score any more goals. But do you feel that game was more of City playing well, good tactics, or was it just the changes and injuries with Arsenal made it easier for City to win?
I mean, one, totally forgot Kepa was on this roster, if I'm being so very honest with you. Not saying that I've been totally locked in this season as much as I have been in the past, but that was a little bit of a shock to me. Uh, Here's like a couple duh comments. My dad would be very proud of me for a few of these. Can't win with zero. Just not
Hey,
possible. And then number two, the secret to beating Arsenal is going up by one. Just saying, because then they can't like the thing that everybody's talking about and they hate about the Premier League is it very much is into the mixer, pray for a handball, pray for a foul in the box, like do that type of
mm-hmm.
thing, and like they actually have to get away from that. Now, was I pretty clenched every time there was a free kick or a corner? Yeah, dog. Like they're still pretty nasty with that stuff, but for the most part, like it did force them to play an uncomfortable way. Is it the reason they lost? No, you got to score. But going up puts you in such a preferable position. Again, a duh comment. But like then they are getting out of the here's all of our big dudes, we're throwing it in there, and like just don't put a hand on it, just don't foul them, which I think was helpful.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like Eze not playing, Odegaard not playing, I think was very beneficial for City, and I think that that played out in a way of when City ended up not pressing that back line when they just sat there with the four of them and were like, "You have to break lines." And Declan Rice is just sitting there holding the ball. And like, look, my most liked tweet was when I clipped a game from the Euros of Declan Rice not breaking the lines to Foden, and I just called it my most frustrating like moments watching England. I think it was like England Serbia, and it had the most likes because it is just Declan Rice absolutely terrified to break lines and pass it through. And if Odegaard's not there to do it, if Eze's not there to do it, that's incredibly damning. And if I'm any other Premier League team that I'm now seeing this, any other Champions League team seeing this, that is a formula that, look, it's not going to be, oh, hey, just do this and you're going to win. But that basically is going to put even more of an onus on Odegaard having to play, who has injury, a long injury history, Eze, who's potentially going to be out a serious amount of time. They're trying to compete in uh, for 3 different titles right now, and there's a clear way on how to potentially stop them. So that's the part I'm kind of curious about. And separate from that, yeah, Kepa made the mistake, but the mistake was because City absolutely dominated them. I had taken a photo, and we were going to use it for a post at work. They had outpassed them. It was like 250 to like 68 or something, like before that first goal. They were absolutely in total control. It was the inverse of what it was like at the Emirates in the fall. It was an absolute domination in the second half, and that makes a mistake like that more likely to happen when you are just consistently getting buried in your zone. I yield my time.
Respect, yeah. it was a great watch. It was good feelings, good vibes. Um, Speaking of international duty and all the like World Cup confirmations that have happened this the last couple of days, how are we feeling about? I guess what city player are you most excited about watching in the World Cup? The obvious one is Holland. He bringing his country to the World Cup since his dad took them to the World Cup. That's like the easiest storyline. I'll go first. Like mine is Doku in Belgium, man. Especially after watching kind of how they cooked United States in that second half of that match. He was key to that, and it's really fun watching him become like the guy for Belgium. And his teammates trusting him, and maybe and very similar to City when he's at his best. Sure, he's not creating the assist itself, but he creates all the space, the chaos. It helps his other teammates thrive. But at Belgium, you hear the announcers and commentators, they understand that and they give Doku credit for. Whereas at City, people have come around, but they're still like, yeah, but it's finishing product though. It's like, why are we still saying this? So Doku is the person I'm watching for. Show Bros, who do you got? Who and what country are you interested in for the World Cup?
I'm gonna give you three names because I'm gonna cheat. I think for me,
Go
when I
for it.
think of like the World Cup, for me, the way that I'm looking at it is thinking about the players that like made me fall in love with the sport when I was a kid, and like the moments that I saw, especially in the World Cup, in particular the 2010 World Cup, which was like really kind of put me over. And I think there's three players. One, I do think it's Doku. It's one of that you named. I think he has. You can be a very casual soccer fan and see him and just be like, that's different, that's
Mm-hmm.
unique, and like immediately fall in love with that. I think that Cherky falls in that same kind of vein if he's going to end up playing for France, which is, I mean, we know how Deschamps sets up. It's like so defensive. I don't even know if he's going to like consistently play. And then the last one, I do think it's Holland. I think that that is someone that if Norway is able to have a moment, and Holland's goal scoring record for Norway is insanity. It's better
Mm-hmm.
than any club he's played for. And if he's able to have a few moments in the World Cup, I think that is how, I don't know. Those three players seem like people that are just like built in a lab to have World Cup moments.
Yeah, death taxes and Holland goals for Norway. Obviously the number one answer, Donnarumma. Really excited about the whole situation. Now, I'll do a weird one. Like
Oh.
it's no guarantee that he's going to make the squad, but let's be honest, Nico O'Reilly keeps playing this well. Like I think it'd be interesting to see if he gets a call up. I
Mm.
don't quote me. Someone's going to know better than I will. I'm not sure if he's been called up before. I didn't think so.
He is.
Yes.
Once.
Okay.
He's
Cool.
there right now.
Is he perfect? So now I look like a dummy, but that's fine. I'm excited for him. I think that what's been so interesting is the big moments, and I know recency bias with like the final that just happened, but like kind of seems like he doesn't, it's unflappable type of situation. Like he's like not even
Yeah.
really thinking about, like he just plays, and he plays hard, and he's in places where you need to be to get like things done. I'm thinking of basketball where it's like, oh man, garbage points or like garbage goals, or like he's always in a place to make an impact and make a difference. And um, I think that we were lacking that last year, especially. And I think that it's such an interesting game IQ and hustle for him that, let's be honest, England at times is missing that too. And I think that that'd be like a huge get for them. And if he's able to put it together, I know it's once you put on the old three lions, it's hard to meet the moment, I guess, so to speak. There, I mean, the whole country has expectations that are just out of the wazoo for you. But again, he's been in big moments already for City and shown that he belongs, which has been awesome.
Yeah, he got called up in November because I remember that being a talking point because it was after one of the many times I think Reece James got hurt. This time he got called up, I think it matters a little bit less. No disrespect to Reece James, I really love you, buddy, but you are always hurt. And this time he got called up again. Tuchel called up like 35 players because he's trying to like really try to figure out, I think, like the fringe members of the squad. But I think that Tuchel, he's probably the most tactically adept manager in international football right now. And I think that he sees if Pep's able to play him either in midfield or at fullback, I think that Tuchel's going to mess around and try to find a way for him too. I don't know if he's going to inherently start, but I definitely think he has a place in England's squad.
Certainly isn't Poch. Real quick, since we're on the topic, just I gotta be honest. Since we're on the topic, like, what are our expectations? Like,
we're lucky if we get out of the group.
No doubt.
Yeah.
This is Garbaggio, and I say that with respect to all Italians who don't get to join in the World Cup. Like, this is so bad.
So many shots to Italy.
Here's what I'll say. They destroyed Uruguay. They destroyed like a decent Uruguay team in the last international break. What I'll say is like, look, yes, they lost to Belgium. Yes, they got killed by Belgium. I thought they played very well in the first half, and then the second half was an absolute disaster. Same thing with the Portugal game. They were absolutely in control for large swaths of the Portugal game, and then things went haywire. But like, I don't expect, granted, I know the U.S. has beaten Portugal, or at least gotten a point off of Portugal in the last two times they played them in the World Cup in 2003 and 2014. But like, I don't expect the U.S. team to do much against Portugal. Like, they don't have the same level of players. However, like, this is, I think from a pure talent standpoint, this is easily the most talented U.S. like men's national team. Like, there are dudes here that play all over Europe and are good players at like Premier League clubs. But it is a mess when they play together, and I do not understand how or why.
Correct. It feels like to me, and I used to have a podcast where we would actually talk about this a good amount, and I feel like I have all these pent up thoughts and emotions right now that I'm only going to give you a snippet of because that's not what this show's about.
I'm here for it, though. I'm here for it.
But like the U.S. national team to me is just a bunch of trust fund babies that like are pretending to do this job because their dads did it. And no shot to like Claudio Reyna, whatever. But I do think that moment was such an inflection point to this entire organization that we may never. I mean, I'm 36. I bring this up on every podcast. Sorry. I may never see us recover from it. Just like
it was. It's not talked about enough. It is an insane moment. Like what all of that did. And look, Gio Reyna had like, this is going to be, I'm being a little hyperbolic. There were KDB-esque qualities to Gio Reyna's game. Like he truly looked like he was going to be an incredibly special player. But like, you haven't played for your club in almost like 4 years. You have barely featured for any team that you have played for almost ever. No manager wants to play you. You go from team to team to team. And I don't know if it's mental. I don't know if it's physical. I have absolutely no idea. But that is an insane moment that I will never forget. But it does feel like that is a forgotten moment. And it does feel like the players just don't care as much. And I'm not ever going to side with like Alexi Lalas on almost anything. But there is a weird like lack of care, it seems, from the players overall. But I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if it's Poch. I don't know if it's that they liked Greg more. I don't know if like I don't understand where any of it comes from. And the whole thing that just came out with Jesse March saying that he was offered the job and then they rescinded it. That's insanity. Yeah. That is insanity. And look, like I think Poch is I think Poch is a great manager. I think what he did with Chelsea is really good. Obviously, it didn't work out at PSG. I don't think that it was his fault. That team was not. That's a FIFA career mode team, not a real team. That team's not built to win actual games that like matter. That's a team that you like play on FIFA and get angry about. Like what he did at Spurs was obviously very impressive. What he's done at Southampton is obviously very impressive. It doesn't inherently mean that you're going to be a good national team manager, though. And he had never managed a national team before. And I know that obviously Marsh hasn't either, but like he's done well with Canada. And all of it just it's a mess. It's a disaster. I hope they get out of the group, but I don't know, man.
There's a straight up argument that you can make that Doge was run better than the U.S. men's national team. Just full stop. Like I think that there could be some data and statistics to back that.
Doge got headlines.
Yeah,
I mean, the U.S. is getting headlines too. I guess actually, to be fair.
True, but like I think there's an argument there. The last thing I'll say about it is, do I want him to watch me lead a team to sell a reservation marketplace to restaurants, which is like my job? No, but like Tim Ream, we got to have something better. Like the guy's 65.
Nah,
like,
bro.
I won't. I will not slander Tim Reed. That dude is fantastic. That dude is like I know he's old. I know he's slow, but like
yes.
I have a lot of love and respect for Tim Ream, man.
Correct.
Pep himself said if he was 10 years younger, he would be a City defender.
Correct. Great human being. And you know what? That was my last lashing out. And I just got blinded by, hitting. It was like friendly fire. Sorry about that, Tim.
No, I'm with you, John. Like, and Pep can say something like that. If he was 10 years younger, I would be interested in him.
Mateus Nunes is one of the best players in the world.
Hey, I'm here with that. No, I won't argue.
Yeah, that's right back
in the world. That's
what he said when he was at Sporting, and then when they brought it back up to him after City signed him, he was like, "I said that." He was like, "I think I might have been a little hyperbolic."
Yeah. Pep should have consulted John Whitaker and said, "Oh, Matheus Nunes, he's a Wolves player, but he's having a better year. It's fine. It's okay."
Oh. Yeah, Pep gets himself in trouble for just saying nice things about the opponent. Like, bro, just he does. He just talks, and I love that about him. Like, he just says stuff sometimes. And he's just like, I don't believe it, but I know you're gonna eat it up. I've been around
real quick. I'm gonna take over the reins real quick. I have a question.
Oh, please.
There's all of this Maresca talk. Like, there was another big thing that dropped that, like, hey, Maresca is being circled to replace Pep. I know we've kind of talked about this before. This is all just Maresca's agent, like trying to drum up the value for his client, right?
Maresca did a podcast too. He did a podcast too and said it.
I think that might have been AI.
Oh, really?
I think that might have been AI. I don't think he would do that. That's crazy. I don't think he would be like, oh, they've contacted me. Like, that doesn't.
It felt very weird in the angle and everything. So I know that's fair.
I've asked you both this. Neither one of you have played Football Manager before, but there's a feature in Football Manager where, like, as the manager, you can declare interest in something in another job, and like most of the time it totally backfires, right? But there's a few times where like you will shit into existence, and that's kind of how I feel this is. Like, I know we're all aligned on that, but that's like what I feel like is happening here. So.
Like, there's so much talk around it. And look, City never leak anything. Like, there's very rarely you ever hear anything coming out of City directly, and especially from Pep. Pep talks to his brother, and whatever that dude's name is that's in all the documentaries, the handball player that's like his best friend. Mm-hmm. I forget his name, but he's always like sitting behind Pep. Like, those are the two people Pep talks to. Like, they're not going to talk to anyone. So I just don't trust any of this reporting that is coming out from it.
Well, let me ask like the question that would normally get clipped. Gun to head right now, if you had to pick anybody else out there to replace, who is it? Because I struggle with this all the time.
I don't want it. I would rather have it be a Maresca, because anyone that comes in after, like, I don't want it to be Vinny. Like, I think Vinny could be City manager. The person that's going to come next, they're a sacrificial lamb.
So you want Maresca in because
I would take it. I mean, I wouldn't. Okay. I'll say it, but like look, there's a real chance that whoever comes in actually does a successful job, and whoever is going to be like hiring is going to have the full intention of that. I think there are so many City fans that have forgotten what it was like before Pep. I think there's also a lot of people that maybe weren't City fans before Pep was here. I think a lot of people have forgotten watching Yaya Toure fake jog around as we were like consistently starting seasons off really hot and then just like falling apart by the end. I don't think a lot of people remember those years, and they're going to have to start remembering those years. And I really pity whoever is stepping into that position.
Yeah. My answer, full seriousness on this one, is I need 6 months of Roy Hodgson just because I want to be able to support him on a team that I have. And then, again, get Vinny. I think you're right, though. whoever the next one is, it's just a firing squad, and then we're getting the right guy there. So
it's Kalen DeBoer, man. Like Kalen DeBoer hasn't been bad at Alabama. He's not been bad. He hasn't been as good as the greatest college coach of all time.
Correct. Like, that's on point analogy. Correct.
Maresca, he fit in
It's
Chelsea.
Phil Foden, Ryan Williams, my column.
Oh my god. Maresca fit in Chelsea because, you know, Chelsea are annoying. They're like a little smug and like too big for the boots. And people already like just don't like City and are constantly bringing up the cheating and blah, 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 blah. Bringing Maresca would just be so bad for the vibes. And like that, and obviously that's not the way you should be picking your manager, but he would be so bad for the vibes. Like unless he like completely does complete turnaround, like going from a heel to a face for wrestling fans, and his agent shuts the fuck up. Like that's the thing that worries me. Like I think he's a good manager. He obviously was able to get something out of this Chelsea squad that since he's been gone, they can't figure out anything. He is a Pep disciple. Like his vibes are just rancid. Like he looks like he smells like secondhand smoke.
Damn, that's shit. I don't know if I can say what I was going to say after that one. That was to the heart. Shit, hell yeah, I'm going to use that one next time I'm in an argument. No, dude, I actually think that you're onto something, Crunk. I think teams might be better off if they hire off vibes. Like, if you're Tottenham, hiring off of vibes may have you in a better spot than you are right now. And I think it's an underutilized
insanity, man.
Aspect. Yeah.
Yeah, Deserby.
I'd take Enrique.
Yeah, I think that's a good call, Luis Enrique.
I would take Enrique. I would not be unhappy at all with Enrique.
Hey, that means Trafford's staying then.
I think you need an adult. That's what I'll say. And I think I think of an adult with Luis Enrique for sure.
Yeah, Maresca to me is not an adult. I mean, he is a adult age-wise, but I don't know. I could totally see him trying to come into the locker room and trying to be cool. And it's like, you are aware we have like a bunch of Bible boys and like dorks, honestly, on our lineup. Like, yeah, we have like Cherky and stuff like that, but like Ruben Diaz, like Maya Jama tells him how to dress. Like we have Gehi, Doku, and Semenyo who like love Jesus and their women. Like it's a very simple squad.
I mean this with all due respect to our team here. There's no group of more swagless human beings at times than this team. And
Ryan Cherky just on Atlas.
Yeah.
Atlas holding up the vibes.
Yes. You're so correct. Because even somebody that you'd expect like a Foden, over the years of getting to know him, I'm like, dude.
Oh yeah, no, it was quick. Yeah.
You're a dork.
His might be on. There's almost not a player where like their on-field persona matches like does not match their off-field persona. Like maybe Messi, and like Messi's an anomaly, but like there is almost no one where it's like this guy who has so much flair and is like unbelievable. It's like dude loves fishing.
I will say this: there was, I think, a 16-month period where Alan St. Maxim was like it was pretty on point. It was peak, where I was like, this guy's incredible, insane, and has more swag than I, as a man of caucus descent, know what to do with at times for sure. So like he was insane.
Yeah, it's a shame he can't have all that stuff.
Took the bag.
Like, just like Memphis Depay. Like there is like a certain level where it gets almost like detrimental to your football. So you gotta have to like manage it. You have to manage it a little bit. Oh man, that was a fun conversation. Okay, so the men return. We have FA Cup. We talked about it a little bit. There's Chelsea Port Vale, West Ham Leeds, Arsenal, Southampton, obviously City, Liverpool is the most difficult of like the two teams in it. I don't expect Southampton or Port Vale to pull off the upset. West Ham Leeds, it's too. what is the phrase? It's never mind. I'm pretty sure it's a toxic phrase. I was about to say. I said it in my head, and I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't say that.
Late night crunk.
It's what is it? It's like
that Nelk boys is getting to him.
Two dumb bitches look at each other and say
like
exactly or something like that. Yeah,
I feel you.
Yeah, like it. Like
decent
who cares?
censor of yourself. I appreciate that.
Yes. Yes. How are we feeling about this?
So, little known fact: young John Whitaker, around 2011, I think I was a junior in college, road to glory with Port Vale. Could happen. You never know. Did that on FIFA. We tried it. We figured it out. Got to the Premier League, and then I got kind of bored. Started drinking a lot more. Spring happened, and then I just wasn't really playing FIFA that much. But yeah, this will be interesting. I do think that Liverpool's at, again, like many teams in this time, an inflection point with the slot situation. And my brother was here this weekend, so we got to talk about this at length a bit. Like, there's no worse thing to ever happen to you than like the club's talisman to just be like, yeah, I got to call it quits. Like, this is just ridiculous and I'm done and I don't want to deal with this anymore. And I have a feeling it's because of how poorly this team's just been managed. And most Liverpool fans would agree with me. So,
yeah, he wants out of there.
I mean, like, the vibes at Liverpool are a disaster. I'm so terrified of Ekitike and Soboslai that I cannot fully count them out. Like, those two are absolutely fantastic. And I still think about that goal that Soboslai scored.
Brother, I will remind you too, like, we were on this pod talking about, like, would you rather do Bodo Glimt or Real Madrid? And Real Madrid was like doldrums of vibes, and they whacked us. Like, they whacked us. So, like, yeah, Liverpool could beat anybody on any day at any point because they still have a shit ton of really talented people. I just, like, I don't know, man. Like, losing to us here, like, when did they fire the guy? That's what I'm wondering. Because I think it's going to happen before the end of the year, in my personal opinion.
I have I feel a real way with like how soccer managers in particular lose their jobs. I think people move on from managers way too quickly. And I understand that if you think that you can get Xabi Alonso in, then like go for it. I totally get that. But this dude has won as many Premier League titles as Jurgen Klopp. Okay? Like, I'm not saying that he's as good as Jurgen Klopp, but it's crazy that this guy did something that Klopp only did once. And yes, I understand because there were fantastic City sides that like prevented Klopp from getting titles. But it's kind of crazy when you think about it. And it's going to be, if he gets fired, it's going to be really weird thinking like 5 years from now. It's like, how did this guy get fired? He also somehow like didn't beat Spurs, and Igor Tudor's got a lot of personal stuff going on, and I like don't really want to show them the guy too much, but like that's crazy. So like I understand both sides of it, but it's kind of wild, and I think that he probably does honestly deserve to stay. But if I had the option to get Xabi Alonso, I would fire Slot and bring in Xabi Alonso.
Future Jeopardy question: this manager has as many Premier League wins as Jurgen Klopp. Insane.
City should win. Like, I'm with you with the whole Ekitike, Zoboslai, in creating a moment. Like, those are all players, and that was Salah for an entire match would just like make you miserable. But Zoboslai, Ekitike. They are both players that all they really need is like 5 great seconds, and they can ruin your life. And that's all they really need is a couple of moments, and Cody Gakpo to not like be the dumbest player on the pitch, because like he's usually the one who kind of ruins everything for them is Cody Gakpo. So it'll be interesting to see how that is. Obviously, if Virgil van Dijk is crumbling before our eyes, Konate isn't there. So can Pep set up the team for success against this current iteration of Liverpool? And it wouldn't surprise me like he nails it against Arsenal and Arteta, but then like for some reason just completely messes it up against Liverpool. Like
I think that the team we saw against Arsenal, I think that minus Trafford, like I think there's a really decent chance maybe you'll swap out like Gahey might come in, but I think that's going to be the team. I think that like City basically play one game a week for the most part for the rest of the season.
mm-hmm.
I just think that's going to be the team, and it's like we're looking at like Turkey has that right wing spot. Maybe it'll be Nico O'Reilly stepping up into midfield, and it'll be Aït-Nouri going into left back because that was working. But I think that we kind of have just seen the team, and my guess is it's going to be a very, very similar lineup against Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't think he will change anything. Yeah, he should keep it going to where it is. Hey, Mo Salah, he announced he's getting out of Liverpool, like John said. They ran him out of Dodge. The conversation is where he ranks. It's a very big conversation. Liverpool fans are like, he's not even like a top 5 Liverpool player. But then if you talk about his success that he has on the field with that team, where a lot of the people who are a lot of Liverpool fans who place people above him don't have Premier League titles. So it's very interesting. We're obviously an op. Like we're not Liverpool people, but where do you think he is perfectly rated? Is he overrated or is he underrated? From obviously your own thoughts, what you're seeing and people talk about Salah, things like that.
I'm gonna open a can of worms that I know Dylan, you're gonna be able to dive right into and have an opinion on here. One of the things that I really despise about basketball is the fact that we have to compare generations. Because if LeBron James had to go up against Bob Cousy,
Oh, he'd murder him.
Show some respect.
In his one hand.
listen. So I feel the same way about soccer.
They couldn't dribble like how they can now. I'm just going to get real mad about this. They weren't allowed to. It's not that he couldn't. It's that they literally would. If you didn't dribble like Stanley from The Office, they called
right.
it.
Sure. For sure. But like, I haven't heard or been a part of any of the conversation about him being not as highly rated as the best, because personally, like I have someone in my life, my brother, like I said, and a best friend here that like Mo Salah is the North Star. And I only have room for irrational hate for one athlete in my life. It's Michael Jordan. I despise the guy. I hate him. I don't think that he's the greatest. Listen, I'm from Cleveland. I'm from Northeast Ohio. There's a reason for that, but also kind of a fucking dick. So like,
I mean, yeah,
I've always been a Mr. Pibb guy.
Big time. I mean, total awful human beings buy sneakers too type of situations. But like, I think Mo Salah is one of those people that caused me so much pain and so much agony and so much stress, but I would welcome it again to get to see him play, because I thought he was insane and incredible. And honestly, like one of those people that if he was on my team, I would love him as much as I know my brother and my friends do, because of how like good of a person he is too, which is, I know, not the question, but I can't help but like have that take too. So borderline underrated for me. And I think that he's one of the most impactful people I've watched play football in the past 10 years.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I was actually pulling up his list because I was kind of curious. He had Ian Callaghan at 10, Kevin Keegan 9, Van Dyke at 8, Alan Hansen at 7, Salah at 6, Ian Rush at 5, John Barnes at 4, Graham Souness at 3, Kenny Dalglish at 2, and Steven Gerrard at 1. Half of those players I have like never watched play. I was not alive to like see them play, so I have like no real opinion on that. And like to the point around like with different eras, it's very hard to compare any of these things. Mo Salah is one of the most terrifying players on the ball that I've ever experienced. There are few players that I was scared more about on the ball than Salah. Ironically, it did feel like he would come short in a lot of big matches, not against City. It felt like he came through in every single match against City, but I would always think in a lot of other matches where Liverpool needed something, especially in the Champions League, he didn't necessarily come to that same level, which I found kind of strange because it felt at City if he had an inch of space. Like I remember him putting Laporte in the spin cycle. Like I still think about that. Is he Liverpool's best ever player in the Premier League? Maybe you want to pick Stephen G because he spent his entire career there. Sure, like I'm not gonna. I get it. Maybe Van Dijk is like maybe better, but it's like totally different positions. So like I also can understand that. But like he's top 3 at the very least from a pure Premier League standpoint, especially for in my life. Like he's probably 2, if not 1. He's absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, he's not absolutely perfect, but like last season alone, he was ridiculous. He was insane last season. He should have broken the assist record as well, and he didn't. He completely fell off at the end after signing the contract, but unbelievable player. Unbelievable. Underrated, but I also think it's because of Liverpool's lack of success due to Pep.
The quick story time. You talked about the Laporte goal, which like to this day still one of the most ridiculous things. Men listening to this podcast contain multitudes. Go do things with your significant others. Go have fun. Go have a social life. But I will say this: I was stuck on the subway when this game was happening, and every subway stop, I would just get the feed back to my phone as I'm sitting there, being like, "Hey Alexis, my wife, most important game really of the year of the season happening right now. Not at home, not getting to watch. Wouldn't trade it for a world. Happily married for 5 years now. She's the mother of my children." But like what ended up happening was we get to the last subway stop before Brooklyn. So now I got to go under the river to get to Brooklyn, and then the feed's going to kick back in. I feel like if I remember
It's
correctly,
the most New York thing I've ever heard.
Coastal elites on here, sorry. But like I feel like if I remember correctly, not much was going on. A lot of midfield holding up of the ball, whatever. We hit the York stop, which is like getting us back into Brooklyn. The feed comes back in, and he is just celebrating on the sideline. And I'm on the subway car, no one else with their phone out like this, going, "What the fuck?" And then I see the replay. And I'm so impressed that I'm not even like mad. Like I'm just like, we got undressed. He undressed Laporte in front of everybody here and scored the goal. But the main point of the story is like, man, get out there, go have fun, go have a life. And then you can always watch the replay.
That's hilarious. For me, it's the goal he scored on João Cancelo that basically like led to the end of Cancelo at the club. At
Led to City winning a treble.
Yeah. That just pirouette around Cancelo and just absolutely amazing. That's kind of the one that sticks in my head. Yeah, shout out to him. Everything you guys said is correct. Incredible fear. I hated playing Liverpool specifically because of him. Anytime he had the ball, I was like holding my breath. He's rated what he is. I don't know. And again, I think this is just like the hater in me. It's like He's whatever. He's amazing. He's quality. If people think he's the best Liverpool player of all time, I'd agree. I do think he should be top three. Like I hate this whole uh because another player stayed somewhere longer. Like if like because like Bernardo's the argument. He's closing. He almost has 10 seasons with the club, but he is the most burnt ass Portuguese human being we've ever met, and the way that he is just like embraced the club, uh, represented like the spirit and the energy of the club for a while, like from being the person who was like being bullied and was quintessential to the joy in the club to then being the a killer and like pivotal to then obviously him falling back behind, but then now he's as a captain, he is showing what the younger players what it means to wear city blue. He will definitely be forgotten behind obviously the companies and the KDBs and stuff like that, but the streets will always remember Bernardo Silva, and even if it's simply just from the guard of honor that he did against Liverpool. Like there are just so many moments where like that bro is just like he's blue through and through no matter where he goes and how he went at it. And even this season, we know what he's doing, but he refuses to talk about it because he doesn't want it to divert anything from the club where Mo Salah's ass was like, hey, I'm just letting everybody know I'm out of here now. So there's no need to talk about it. But in fact, it gives everybody all these things to talk about that has nothing to do with Liverpool and could highly distract the club and could make Liverpool end up in a worse situation by the end of the season because all they want to talk about is fucking Mo Salah and giving him his credit before he leaves.
He does love attention. The gym
Yes.
selfie photo from earlier this year.
Yep.
He does love a little attention.
Away.
I'm sending y'all I made a hype video for 2024 that was the last City Pep or Klopp Pep game, and I made like a little video on Twitter before I'd like gotten this job and was trying to like get sports media job. There's a lot of Salah goals in there, so I'd appreciate it's only 97 seconds long, so it's not that long. I appreciate if you would give that a little watch. A lot of Salah goals against City.
Too many goals. Shout out to the legend. This Rodri Spanish interview during the international break. Obviously, there was like a specific quote where he was like, I will never put out the idea of playing for Real Madrid, even though I'm Atleti, blah, 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 blah. So then everyone was like even Sharpie on our pod, like, loved the dude, but he was like, bro, get Rodri the fuck out of here. And even I was like, it's not a good look. And then the entire interview got leaked, and then the translation come through, and you can kind of hear that he said it, but not in that way. But like I don't know. It's all very weird. The contract hasn't been signed. To me, it all felt like anyway, even if it was taken out of context, if it was in context, it's just him trying to play hard to get. But also, Rodri's a fucking dork. So if he doesn't know how to like play cool and coy the right way, like he always bragged about not caring about fashion, that he was a smart guy, and then it wasn't until he won the Ballon d'Or that he started caring about his appearance. And once he started getting like the attention and the notoriety, that's when fashion became a thing. But even then, it's someone probably just gives him the clothes and tells him to wear this, and he just goes, okay.
I think he's got a girlfriend now. I think that also probably has a Ruben Diaz Maya Jama situation.
Yeah.
We've all had that friend in high school and college that got the girlfriend and changed up a little bit, and it's just later for that happening. Quick question though for you: Is there any entity in sports in the United States that has the same chokehold on athletes, Spanish-speaking soccer athletes especially, that Real Madrid has? Is there any equivalent? I don't think there
It
is.
used to be the like Lakers and the
Sure,
Yankees. Like those
sure.
used to be, but they have all fallen out. I don't think there is like a dominant team like that anymore. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, right? Like, Dylan, you think there is?
90s and 2000s Yankees to an extent, but it wasn't the same. Like, I don't know if maybe people grew up wanting to play for the Yankees because I mean they have basically since the 40s have had the most titles, but it does seem different from like a Real Madrid standpoint. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, because like it's not like the Knicks. Like, people don't go to the Knicks. People don't go to the Cowboys. The Lakers do kind of always get their superstar. They always find a way to get, but it's different in soccer because there's so many players and there's more movement. But it's the closest I do think I guess would be the Yankees. It would be like the early Steinbrenner Yankees.
It's it's insane. I think it's like, and it transcends like the comment I made about Spanish speakers, because like Trent, right, or Bellingham, Jude Bellingham, like it is wild to me that if you play soccer, football on the European continent, that there's just a part of you that is never going to write this off, and I guess it's like a cultural difference. I don't understand it. I don't understand why. Um,
I've never been to
'Cause
Madrid. I want to.
No,
it's
big time.
beautiful.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's.
feel
I
like
mean,
that would help me understand it a little bit more.
so I made a comment, I think in episode 2, about like being in Manchester 3 different times. You guys gave me shit for it, but I'm gonna go ahead and put myself out there again. I've been to Madrid. My wife lived there for a little bit. I went to the Bernabeu. I took the tour. I got to see all the trophies. I got to see all the uniforms, all the logos. Chalk me up as some like Midwestern schmuck who's like, I've ever got to play Major League Baseball, I'd go play for Cleveland because that's where I'm from. Didn't move me. Like, it just didn't move me at all. Like, I was just sitting there and I was like, yeah, this is sick. This is the Yankees. This is what this is.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Yankees. I don't know. Like, it's the Canadiens. It's the Lakers. And like, that was never something that appealed to me because all my teams were broke as fuck and never won. And like, that's like what I like. I don't know. Like, I'm a broken man, I guess.
I've never been a Real Madrid guy. I guess like when I was growing up, I liked Barcelona, and
Yes.
so like I think for me, and now I kind of really despise like how they're run. But like growing up for me, it was always Barcelona over Real Madrid, and yeah, I don't know if it's the white jerseys. I don't know if it's just, and I feel like it almost might have like gone away a little bit. I feel like in the obviously I know they had gotten Ronaldo, but like gotten Ronaldo, they'd gotten Kaká, but like other than James, like there was that brief period where like they weren't inherently like getting a lot of guys. They like
Mm-hmm.
fell ass first into Tony Cruz because like Pep wanted him and the Bayern born was like, we don't care, we're gonna sell him. Like they kind of had fallen into some of these players, and then it feels like now it's like more, they're getting these players for free.
Yeah.
Players are just joining them. Like these players
Yeah.
are just joining. Like they got Mbappe for free. They got Trent for free. There's a world where they get Rodri for free. Like it's at a level now where it is. It's like they hypnotize people.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's like they know, uh, like when you win an award, you think you're a religious entity that you support, in your family, and then the people who helped you in that project. Like it's like if you're a footballer, you're like, if Real Madrid ever calls, I gotta go there. It's just like a bucket list nonsense that, yeah, you would think that you should play somewhere else that doesn't have this like giant list of people that they're going to love and support technically over you, unless you're like Spanish speaking. But even then, you really have to be from Madrid or the close area for people to really take you seriously. And there are even some players who come from the area and played in their academy, and they still are just like, I don't care about you. So it's all very interesting. But I part of me, you want Rodri to stay because of the success he's had at the club, but you see the team is changing, But also the last thing I want to do is see him go to Real Madrid. Like, I already don't like playing Real Madrid. Now I have to go and see Rodri play for Real Madrid. Also, can you imagine him tucking in that shirt? Like, it worked at City because City they are who they are, but going to like Real Madrid, the stars that have been there, the cachet, the aura that club has, and then you have just Rodri sitting there with his like tucked in white shirt. Like, oh my god,
I would probably watch most Real Madrid matches if Rodri played there. I'm going to be completely honest. It would sicken me if Rodri were to leave City. I think that it does not. I don't think it's a mistake that like now that he's finally healthy, City are like actively competing for the title and won the Carabao Cup. Like, I don't think it's a mistake. This guy is absolutely unbelievable, and it would destroy me if he were to leave. And I think if he leaves, there's a higher chance that Pep leaves.
Interesting. That's an interesting.
That's the most important position in the team. If that team
sure.
if that position is a question mark, I think Pep is more likely to leave. And especially if it's like he has to bleed another one in with everything that is currently going on.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he's like, oh, hey, this is a really good challenge. Bring me in Adam Morton. But it took Rodri a few years to figure that out. And I don't know if Pep wants to stick around for a few more years again after not winning a title for 2 years. Like, that's when they won a title, but not winning the Premier League title for 2 years.
Yeah.
And obviously does not rate Nico G. Like, that poor guy. Because he came in and did a very good job filling in for Rodri during his time away, and then Rodri comes back at 80%. And Pep goes, sit down, Nico. Don't you talk to me. Because if you question me, you're just going to be benched even more. Like, you can't even put him in for, like, 5 minutes. Like, he's not going to ruin anything. He's learned. He's made those mistakes. He comes on whenever he plays. He makes great decisions. He gets the game going. He takes more chances. Like, it's unfortunate. And then, to try to bring in a Wharton or an Anderson. I understand everyone really loves Anderson, and I like what he does. But he feels like catfish, bro. Like, I just don't. Something
What does that
about
mean?
him. Like, I feel like he's gonna, the second he steps into Manchester, like, he's not gonna be who we have seen him as. Like, I don't know. It just.
Oh, Cap, I get you.
Yeah.
I totally misunderstood.
If listeners at home had a Neve Schulman comment essentially on their bingo board, there you can play it there. That is actually a good point though. Like, just a total fugazi. I can kind of see that too.
Because I feel
honestly, I think he's a
Morgan
Bernardo
Gibbs-White.
replacement. I think that Elliot Anderson's the Bernardo replacement. I think he's incredible. That goal he scored against us was insanity. But that dude, I think he can do all the dirty things. I think he wins every ball. I think that he's not like as tight on the ball as Bernardo. I think there are very few players ever in the history of the game that are as good on the ball as Bernardo Silva. But I think he brings a lot of the same characteristics. And I would be, if he doesn't come and Bernardo leaves, I would be very scared. Personally.
True.
Okay. Again, great player. And I think it's more just I don't trust Nottingham Forest. Like sure, you're thriving at Nottingham Forest, but they need that. Whereas you're going to come to City where you're not necessarily going to need to constantly save City all the time like you have to at Nottingham Forest. So can you handle... Like, that was Jack Grealish's biggest thing was I think he in his first season or so, he enjoyed being around all these other amazing talents. Like, it was like a fun challenge for him. And then I think he just got tired of the challenge. Like, he was just like, I'm good. Why won't you just start me? Because I'm Jack Grealish. And Pep was like, bro, you don't care anymore. Like, I'm not playing you. Like, you just don't have that fire. And I'm not going to say the same thing's going to happen with Elliot Anderson because you never know. But I don't know. Sometimes being in that sea with a bunch of other great whites Like, is he a great white or is he just a nurse shark? You know, he's just like one of those little bottom feeders that you can just pet and it's all calm and you know you're safe from. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Okay. Last. Okay. So what do you mean? What are the best beers during a City game? Like, I guess what are your thoughts about this?
A couple different ways you can take this, and I know this is kind of like the final point. I always try to throw something from left field into here. Another baseball reference. Sorry, guys. So there's I think I intake a lot of right-wing media just to be well-rounded and then figure out what I hate the most about people. Sorry, again, just letting it all loose. But like, there's this question that was going around is like, what was the best beer? And like, personally, I'm a wine drinker, so it doesn't even really resonate with me. But when I think of like listening to or watching the City games, like I'm a Guinness drinker. Before splitting the G was a thing, I just went in there. I had 4, 5, 6, 7, actually a low calorie beer, and like would just sit with this woman who's a huge Newcastle fan, ripped 7 Guinnesses, and left. But Crunk, I take in your content. I see that sometimes you're highlighting certain local beers, certain local breweries, whatever. I kind of wanted to understand like your platonic ideal of a early start game, the second start, the second time frame. For us in New York, it's like 7 a.m., 10 a.m., 2 a.m., or 7 a.m., 10 a.m., 2 p.m. Correct. So like, how do you shift? What's your take? Like, what is like the perfect setup for you? That's what I want to know. I want to learn more about you.
So what's funny, because I grew up playing rugby, and the rugby team I played for, they were a drinking team that played rugby. And then also living in Iowa, there's no professional team. There's the Iowa Hawkeyes. So early morning drinking is something that I've like been around for a very long time. And that also like fit very easily into going somewhere, watching these football games that technically are at like noon, 1, 2, 3 o'clock. The early games, if I am to have a beer, if that's happened, I'm not gonna say it has or has not happened. Usually the early morning games, that's when I'll do like a stout, I'll do like a Guinness or something like that, because you know it's breakfast. You need to be able to chew and drink. But then for the next few hours, I want something super light and crisp. Like I love me a good Pilsner, like super bubbly, crisp. You can see your fingerprints through the glass. Like the foamy, the stone fruit, like a Pilsner or Kel or something like that. Those are the best. And then mid-afternoon when the sun is starting to kind of get warm, that's when I love a good wheat beer.
Okay. All right.
And like the crisp, the brightness, something like that. And then once you get to night again, that's when you go back to stouts.
Okay. Or Happy Dead. Either or.
Hey, are not anymore.
Just
I
kidding.
guess.
Not anymore. No, I gotcha.
That's funny.
Dylan, I feel like you're on the clock most of the time, so probably not happening.
Yeah, I mean, now obviously I'm working almost every City game, although I am off on Saturday. Very rare, which is always my fiance loves. Then when I'm like, hey, still got to watch some soccer.
I'm not working, but I have to know what's going on.
But again, young men listening to this podcast, go back to my original message. Go out and have fun and do regular, normal people things more.
It's also much easier now. Now that the games are recorded, like you always can just go and like on Peacock and just like watch the game after the fact,
Correct.
Or whatever other streaming service it's on. But when I wasn't working, I was still for City Extra working. And then even if that wasn't the case, like before, like Men in Blazers, I'm not a big beer guy. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm a hard liquor person. I listen to the way people talk about beer, and it baffles me. Yeah. I wish that I could I think beer is quite literally the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted in my entire life. It does not matter what kind of beer it is. Like, it's just not for me. It's just not for me. And the way I listen to it, it's like I was like, when I nerd out about film, is this what I sound like? When you're breaking down the differences between like the times of day,
Mhm.
I was fascinated. I wish that I could experience that. I can't. I think it tastes terrible. I lied about it in college, and I just drank a million beers in college because that's what you had to do.
It is.
And like, I would, like go through a 30 rack a weekend, and like, it just was the worst thing ever. And now I don't have to do that. And like, every now and then I go to a place, and it's like, hey, it's like, okay, I'll have a cider.
Yeah.
But like, when games are on, and even
Too
if I
sweet.
wasn't working for Men in Blazers, like if I was doing my own, just say it's too sweet.
Yeah, too sweet.
But real quick, Crunk, do you drink any like sours?
If they're too acidic, they like.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like there are some that are just like too tired. It's like this isn't fun. I don't
Yeah.
want to be challenged. Like I just want to be able to drink,
sure.
bro. But also, I will say I am a snob, and I've been a snob for the longest. I remember I went to an AEW show on Saturday, and they were selling you're gonna get draft, and that was like the first time I had Bud Light in like 3 years. And and I remember the time that I had before then, I went to watch a Packers playoff game with an old high school friend that I hadn't seen in forever, and he chose like the diviest of dive bars, and all they had were like, they didn't even have like fancy beers and cans that you could buy that were like overpriced. They were just like, you have no choice but to get Bud Light, Miller Light, or Busch Light, and they were all draft. But I will say they were $1. So I was like, hey, if I'm going to drink shit beer, it's $1. So nowadays, I will laugh at someone's face. Like, people know, friends know. Like, I will not take. I'll do a Corona if there's a lime and it's hot, like you're on a beach or something like that. But that's like the slummiest I will go.
Gotcha. Dylan, is it like tequila?
Yeah, what's your liquor choice?
It would normally be bourbon, or
so you're just sipping it, or
that's
mixing
like
it with something?
I don't mind just like having it straight or like on ice on the rocks. I will gladly take like a if it's in a cocktail as well. Honestly, I'm not like I'll do vodka sodas. I'll do like gin tonics. Honestly, really anything that I don't mind if it's in any kind of mixed drink or cocktail. I think that might be. I wouldn't say I'm California sober is how I would describe it a lot of times. I think is a thing that is kind of more my vibe. There's a lot of being Irish alcoholism in my family,
for sure,
and so I've always kind of kept it as I've gotten older, like kind of a little at bay. And when you live in a state where you can go and for $20, I can basically get a 5 milligram gummy, and that lasts me for like a month, if not more, like several months. It kind of does the job. I can have a single 5 milligram gummy, and it has the same impact as 6 beers. And it's just
makes sense.
That works for me.
Makes sense. Had to ask because I've seen Crunk post the thing, so I was like, I gotta figure this out.
Honestly, I'm an equal opportunity drinker. I'm not the biggest gin guy, but I love whiskey. Like whiskey was actually my first love. It was just the growing up playing rugby. Like you're chugging beer, you're singing rugby songs, you're shooting beer from a boot. Like I've done all those things. So that's how. Also, my rugby team was sponsored by a local brewery. So like even then we were like doing these debaucherous things with really good beer. So I've kind of always been surrounded by that. But I do love a good whiskey. Like I love a good whiskey. Wine though, I would have never guessed. I mean, I guess I would have guessed that, but I would have never guessed that. Are you like a red or a white kind of guy?
So both. I have a SOM certification, so I've studied it. I've like gone,
that's crazy.
Pep would love you. Pep would love you.
Someday, I do think I will just have a podcast where I'm just going to ask people about wine. It got real.
We need to do a wine tasting.
Hey, I can send you bottles. I got a lot of connections.
Remember Amari Stoudemire? Remember those like videos of him like bathing in red wine?
Yes. Or like just in general, again, not trying to make this a LeBron pod, but there are certain things about the man that are super, super cringe. But like when he does talk about wine, he kind of knows what he's talking about. Where my wife went to high school, CJ McCollum, he has like a huge winery now. Like the NBA is just wine anymore.
I would love to do that, but like again, I like the cheap wine it's so heavy, and I've had really good expensive wine before, and once you really do that, it is kind of hard to like go back to that like chunky thick stuff that just makes you feel like shit in the morning.
So I'll leave us on this because I know we like talked about alcohol for probably too long.
People are fine. They're all right.
Yeah. The thing that I'll tell you is there's a category of wine that I call parent wine, where it just like kicks you in the mouth, basically what you're describing, where it's just like a mouthful of like tannin, whatever. If you have a good wine shop around you, and they gotta be a good one because it's Sicilian wine is incredible. It will. I can send you guys a couple of different ones that like. Dylan on the East Coast, you're going to have a ton of them now. I'm sure you would have in LA too. But like Sicilian wine is red, it's light, it's really, really drinkable. And it's not like wine always tastes like where it's from, terroir. So I tend to like Italian wine better because it's arid, it's warmer, south of Italy, whatever. Whereas like French wines, love it during certain times, but it's always going to taste a little musty. It's always going to taste like it's got some kind of funk to it, and like, you could have mushrooms growing out of it, type of thing. Because think of like the weather in France. So Sicilian wine, and then my wife is Sardinian. If you ever see Sardinian wine, lighter, like just better, and it's like much more drinkable. 2 reds, both of those reds, good to go after. Yeah,
and I love a red.
Yes.
Okay.
I love a red too. I lean towards red, but I've had white wines that have like kind of changed my mental capacity, which I'll talk about a different time maybe.
All right. The next episode we'll continue the wine with wit conversation.
We're gonna have to push the next episode back to mid-April if I can reclaim the Coastal Elite crown. I'll be flying into Coachella next week. Okay. So it's gonna be a little busy for your boy.
Dylan's bi-coastal. I love this.
That's insane. I love it. All right.
So you'll see me in the mosh pits for Turnstile and Geese, and then I'll be back.
Nice.
I don't mosh at all. Not at all. I will be far in the back. That's not for me.
You guys got the height to mosh. If I had to go mosh, I'm at people's armpits. Like you guys can actually be up there.
When I went to Coachella in 2023 to see Frank Ocean, who didn't perform, and Blink-182 was the like surprise ad, and I got like caught up in a mosh that formed around me, and that was terrifying because those motherfuckers were old and seasoned, and it got a little weird for a second.
Oh yeah, I bet.
No, that's the problem with being tall, because people go, all right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna act like I'm not trying to hit this person, but I'm gonna fucking kick the shit out of him. Yeah. And that's what I hate. It's a bunch of it's just a way for a bunch of I was about to say dorks, but it's a way for a bunch of people to just be passive aggressive in their attacks, but also cool at the same time. Like I hate it. I hate moshing. It's like I get it. I love the chaos and the beauty of like watching it from afar, but I've been into them a couple times, especially being like a black guy in a mosh. Like you have people that are just like, you, and I'm like, no, bro, like get away from me. No, thank you.
Feel like a great white buffalo. It's just like, wait a minute.
I know, right? Oh, let's go. Like just losing their minds. No, thank you. Leave me alone.
That's great.
A wonderful episode with you guys. Dylan, let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
Please support Men in Blazers.
Yes.
If you see a post on there that you think is funny or good, that's me. If you don't like it, it's not me. That's the best kind of way to go about that. I'm slowly getting back into using Twitter and my Blue Sky. I have kind of
Oh.
ignored Blue Sky entirely.
That's fair.
And I don't really know how I'm going to feel about that. Twitter, I am maybe considering potentially reusing. It's just my name, Dylan Meehan. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Hell yeah. These two guys put up with me because I have nothing else going on outside of this, and I appreciate you both for having me on. But I will say this: went to Eddie Wong's new restaurant this weekend, Bauhaus. It's like a rebirth of his old, rebirth of his old place. It was incredible. It was insane. It's exactly what New York needs.
Oh God!
What happened? No.
No, it's just my light. I forgot to charge it, so it died.
Okay, damn. I can filibuster. It's all fine.
Anyway,
perfect. If you're in New York, go check it out. It's like perfect. The music's too loud. The food's too good. They play a lot of mixtape rap from like the 90s and 2000s. And sometimes you just need to pull yourself. Yeah, you need to pull yourself into that element. He's also running the food, which is amazing.
Oh.
I know I talked to you guys about height. Your boy was towering over him. So that felt good. Ain't gonna lie. Because then I went and saw another shorter guy. I went and saw Stavros's stand-up this weekend as well. So I was like...
He's short?
Oh.
Yeah. He gotta be.
Like a little just round thing. Tiny little round thing.
Yeah, I wasn't sitting that close, but like I was sitting that close. Like I was like, you know...
See, those are the things. That's when I get jealous of like the coastal elite because I do love good food. Like that's my thing. Good food, good drinks. That's because
it's been a wake up call going from LA to Richmond. I'm gonna be real honest. There's been some good restaurants, but it's not certain things like sushi. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
I that's never the same.
Hot take for me, working in the restaurant industry, is like sushi outside of LA, kind of a wrap in general. In New York, yes, but like not the same. Richmond,
you have Kazunori.
We do. We also have like a bunch of really, really expensive omakase spots that I think are all just shades of gray. But when you guys,
I'm a big Kazunori is like that was the last meal I had in LA that my fiance and I had. That was like it's not that expensive. It's like I think it's not like the best sushi I've ever had. From like traditional hand rolls, it's my favorite traditional hand roll place that I've ever had.
Well, the next time you guys are both in New York, let me know because there's perks of my job, so I can get us into some spots. And one of them is this place called Sushi Naz, which is kind of the top tier omakase spot. It's not that expensive, so check it out.
All right. Oh, yeah. I think after the World Cup, we will probably all go up to New York, like Men in Blazers, as like some kind of celebration. I don't know what my living state will be, like how like much into my psychotic break. I'll be like Jade and Ivying this for anyone that maybe has been online in the last 24 hours. I don't know what my life will look like at the end of this World Cup, but it will be. I will be a changed man.
We'll be here.
At Shades of Blue NW. If we are on the app, you can find us at Shades of Blue NW. We may not be brilliant, but we are for sure blues. Until next time, see ya.